Welcome back di game Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Dan langsung kita lanjutkan ya untuk menyelesaikan masalah pembunuhan ini. Itu dia ya, badan dari korbannya guys ya. Dan ini masih berkaitan dengan kejadian pencurian di galerinya Vogel ya, yang dimana ini makin meluas ya. Dan sampai di sini dan ternyata masih ada lagi ya, korbannya udah dua, yaitu si Mr. Mercurio dan yang satu ini. Kita coba untuk cari tahu langsung aja di TKP-nya guys. Ini dia.
Clearly a left handprint here.
Oke, ada print di situ. Kalau kemarin ini kita udah ini ya, sedikit cari tahu ya. Ini ada jejak lagi. Oke. Ukurannya 9 nih polisi.
Always happy to trample evidence.
Oh,
A heavy boot with a worn out sole.
damage soul. Kaki orang guys.
A man's footprint.
Ukurannya 10. Oke. Jadi ada yang ukurannya 9,5, ada juga ada yang ukurannya 10 ya, tapi gak pakai sepatu, ya kan? Oke, ini berapa ini tadi? 3. Ini 2. Oh. Oke, what is this?
£1,000.
Uang.
A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't
£1,000,
very
yes.
common in Cordona.
Oke, 10 pounds itu berapa ya? Dikali 20.000 atau 20?
Soaked with salt water.
Oh. Tidak bisa. Oke.
A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
Ah. Oke. Buat ini kah? Itu lokasi mainnya, tapi kita jangan ke situ dulu ya. Kita coba muter lagi, guys. Aduh, karena lokasinya tuh masih ini ya. Tuh, masih dari sana, guys. Ada
Carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
agate beads. Oke. Itu kayak tradisionalnya dari Afrika, guys ya. Oh, pecek darah lagi di sini.
The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike.
Oh. Oke, kenapa ada kayu? Apakah ini yang dipakai?
It might have been used as an improvised weapon.
Improvised weapon.
No hint of blood or impact.
Tidak dipakai ini ya. Tidak dibuat mukul ya. Tidak ada darahnya sama sekali, guys. Oke. Ini saya nggak bisa renang loh ini. Ini masih hidup? Oh masih. Ini terluka ya. Oke. Ini ada yang terluka juga dan ada yang meninggal. Oke. Ini kandang ayam.
Someone was dragged against their will.
Oke. Ada apa nih?
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until
Soang,
all the
soang.
circumstances are clarified.
Oke.
Back off.
Sabarlah Pak, kita kan juga membantu-bantu nih. Apa loh?
No one deserves to end up in a place like this.
Alright. Oke, ini korban satunya. Dia masih hidup guys ini, dan ini terluka.
The cut is deep, potentially
Dalam
serious if
katanya.
not treated immediately.
Oke.
He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry,
Shock
you know
dan
first aid.
dehidrasi
Surely
dah.
you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Oke. Mau ngapain lagi nih orang? This is one of the in the camp, usually in a bad way. The cut on his chest in deep and bleeding. He is very dehydrated. I must concentrate on finding something to clean the wound, something to disinfect and something to use as bandage. Kita harus nyari guys. Mencari ini ya, sesuatu yang bisa membersihkan lukanya. Jadi kita disuruh membantu orang ini yang masih John. Dan langsung aja kita bantu guys. Oke, kita cari obatnya. Harusnya sih di dekat-dekat sini ya. Oh itu dia. Boil water clean.
I'll use it to create a solution.
Oke, ini bisa dipakai. Kita dapat air bersih. What else? Cari lagi. Kita perlu bandaga. Oh, ini dia. Cold.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound.
Oke, ini jadi penggantinya bandaga. Oke, les berapa? Kurang. Sebenarnya ini water I obtain the colder clean enough. Oke, sudah. Kita coba muter-muter sedikit lagi, guys. Cari yang siapa tahu bisa dipakai gitu. Oh. Ada apa nih?
That will kill, not save him.
Oh, kita nyari tanaman ini berarti. Itu udah mati katanya. Oke, kita cari tanaman lagi, guys. Ada tanaman lagi gak tuh? Mana ya? Cari tanaman. Pak, ada tanaman gak, Pak? Ini korban meninggal ya. Oh, ini ada lagi. Aloe vera.
I can
Ini
use
bisa nih.
this to stop the infection from spreading. I've placed all the ingredients now to prepare the first aid solution.
Oke. Kita udah dapat. Otomatis kita akan mainan ini nih. Chemical. Tuh kan? Main chemical. Wah. Panjang sekali, guys. Oke, kita coba perlahan-lahan ya. Oke, kita coba aja. Ini kan -2 mol 2. Ya kan? Terus gue ini 3 1 minus 4. Kita punya 3. Ini jadi ini -2. Oh, perlu -2. Ini kita gini, lalu begini, kan 7 kan, 7 lalu gue pasang ini 1 lagi. Akhirnya ketemu juga, guys. Mantap. -4 ya, -3 -4 dan juga 5. Oke, confirm. Kita dapat chemicalnya, jadi kita bisa menolong tuh orang tuh. Mana tadi yang sakit-sakit? Ini, Pak. Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't
Gila,
die.
bisa bikin obat juga nih orangnya. Keren toh. Oke, kita lanjut untuk Oh, bukan tadi ada sesuatu tadi ya. Oke, kita kembali lagi ke sini untuk mengulik-ulik ATKP ya. Urusan tadi itu udah tuh ya. Sekarang waktunya kita geledah si Mahir, guys. Nih. Korbannya. Ada pisau nancap di dadanya, guys. Waduh, ditarik lagi sama dia. Sidik jari.
A steel dirk, sharp, a common accessory among sailors and soldiers.
Oke.
I'd say
Ini
the blade
punya sama
penetrated
tentara atau
upward.
enggak?
However, the wound is too messy to be certain.
Angkatan laut, guys, katanya. Sailor berarti pelaut ya. Oke.
Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Kotor nih ya jari-jarinya. Kuku-kukunya ya. Oke. Apa lagi? Oh, sepatu ini nih.
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other.
Nih satu
This
dari jejak
man
yang kita
was
temukan,
Nick
guys ya.
John.
Ini orang ternyata. Orang satu. Oh, ini dia. Ada
An
tato di
interesting
lehernya.
tattoo. Does it mean something? A violent death. This man, limping, Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Okay.
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Oh. Oke, ada bisik-bisik tetangga ya. Oke, tidak. Keep. Oh, ini bener. Rosary tidak. Salah. Money. Black eyes. Oke, masih sempat ternyata. Once the brother worried the station and that body will put the camp in strict lockdown and they will lose the money flow they were earning for their scheme. Watch. Mereka mengut uang di sini. Jadi lahan mereka cari duit kah para polisi officer
Nobody
nih?
will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the camp a little more thoroughly. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
I don't know.
We have seen some dark places in Cordona.
Oke, ada something PC guys ya.
May I ask you something?
I uphold the law, so I'm not answering your questions.
Oke. Coba kita cek dulu apa yang kita dapat. What's going on? Oke, lagi-lagi si John lagi guys ya. Karena officer ini just again we can learn more about this matter the saking around can, but we should do this before we leave the camp for good. Jadi kita harus ini dulu ya, karena kita kalau pergi ini ya, pergi dari sini maksudnya tempat ini akan di lockdown guys, ditutup ya. Oke. Apa kita harus tanya-tanya di sekitar berarti ya. Oke, tapi guys kita coba cari pembunuhnya dulu ya. Ini kan bisa menunggu selama kita nggak keluar dari tempat ini ya. Oke. Bagaimana cara si pelakunya tuh lari guys? Masuk dan lari ya. Kita coba cari tahu. Kok iso gitu loh. Bagaimana cara dia tuh kabur? Oh, belum masuk gak sih pak? Gak boleh dong. Oh. Oke, pakai kapal.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Bisa saja. Ya, jadi kirain apa? Dia pakai itu. Oh, ada tangga, guys. Oke. Oh, di sana juga ada. Oke. Oke. Ini. Strong gate unopened for a long time.
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Ini nggak bisa dibuka ya. Oke. Kita cari yang berwarna biru, guys. Karena dia ada yang bercahaya biru. Udah deh, nyangkut. Oke, berarti kemungkinan besar dia naik kapal. Oke, itu wajar. Kayak ada ladder yang bisa nyala. Ini dia. 11 feet short.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
Oke. Masih ada lagi kah? Sebuah hal yang bisa di ini. Oke. Hah? Tidak ada sebelah sini. Berarti ada sesuatu, guys. Karena ini belum selesai ya. Apakah itu? Oh. Ada bayangan orang. Ada puntung rokok, guys. Oh, nih.
A single Malpal butt.
Yang kita tahu, guys ya. Pelakunya pakai
Roadman cigarettes.
mapala sigaret, guys.
A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Oh, udah muncul. Jadi kemungkinan ada ya polisi yang udah tua, berarti Anda ya polisi tua ya, yang membiarkan orang itu masuk, guys. Oke, kita coba ungkap TKP-nya ya. Ya, apa sih kejadiannya tuh? Oke, dari sini ternyata. Coba melindungi. Oh, kayaknya gitu. Ini orang nyerang ya. Dipaksa? Oke, mungkin gini kronologinya ya. Dia ditarik-tarik si ibunya. Lalu si orang ini ingin menyelamatkan, mungkin ya, ingin menyelamatkan. Bentar, yang lain lagi. Nah, ini mungkin begini. Soalnya ini orang kena tusuk ya. Mungkin ini. Lalu ini ada lain lagi nggak? Dia jatuh, ya kan? Kemudian bapak ini dikejar oleh seseorang. Ini dia yang berjenggot ini. Nah, dibantu oleh yang lainnya kan. Si cewek ini teriak ya guys ya, karena ditarik-tarik ini dia teriak. Ada yang nolong. Di sini digangguin gini. Dia nyemplung. Ya, bener gini kak. Kita coba dulu. Kalau ada yang salah berarti ada yang kurang guys ya.
So we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the
Ceweknya
refugees
nolak tapi
stood in his way,
dipaksa.
armed with a stick. Yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade.
Oke,
The
soalnya
man
tongkatnya
didn't
nggak ada darah
anticipate
sama
that
sekali
the
guys ya,
other
jadi dia yang
refugees would
terluka.
intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and
nice,
fell,
Pak.
piercing his chest with his own blade.
Jadi kena
However,
sendiri
the
ya.
wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell.
Bukan dibunuh tapi
Before
kena
all of
sendiri.
this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Oke. Nah sekarang kita mencari ini. Ternyata dia gagal untuk menculik ya. Dia menculik guys. Ini gagal malah kena ini senjata makan tuan ya, dan meninggal dunia ya. Kena senjatanya sendiri. Oke, kita coba cari ini ya. Apakah sih dimana si orang ini nih kabur gitu loh. Kayaknya sudah sih ya, tapi ya udah kita cari dulu guys ya. Let's go. Oke guys. Kita langsung aja kasih tahu guys ya hasil dari investigasi kita.
You
Ya,
still here?
ini. Ya dong Pak. Gimana lagi Pak? Ini hasil saya nih. Boom.
Inspector, I believe I can aid your
Ini tahu
investigation.
Bapak ya.
I know who the dead man
Ini udah
is.
kegagalan
and
nih.
what
Orangnya
really
mati sendiri Pak. Ketancap pisaunya
Well,
gitu.
good for you. But I'm afraid
Jadi
I'm
tidak
not
ada
the
yang
one
bunuh
you need to
gitu loh.
share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one
Karena si
responsible
orang
for
itu
settling
pengen
things in
narik-narik
the
si
camp.
ibunya
You
gitu loh.
don't
Yang
even
kita
care to
cari
Oh,
kayaknya
I
guys
do
ya, si
care.
ibunya ya.
Maybe even more than I need to.
Yang berkaitan dengan
But I'm
pembunuhannya
only here
Mercurio
today
gitu.
to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Oke.
Don't bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine. Your problem, not mine. Don't bother someone else with this, son. I've
Udahkah?
already told you all I've learned. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine. I've already told you all I've learned.
Udah itu doang kah?
The guards at the sewers
Yeah.
were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
Okay, Inspector Texbury said he can't do anything with my conclusion. I need to talk with the camp supervisor, Ronald Harlow, and tell him about my finding. Okay, Ronald Harlow kan ini kan?
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder
Oh,
anyone.
pinggirnya gitu loh. Kan harusnya didengar ya.
Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman.
Woman.
What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and
He fell in his own blood.
How do you know he
Gara-gara
fell on his
jatuh
own
ya.
blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood
Jadi para
scene,
refugees gak ada
the
yang
intruder
membunuh
managed
dia
to
guys ya,
raise himself,
tapi
but was
dia kena
unable to
sendiri
walk
ya.
very far.
Karena dia kabur
He
terus
ultimately fell into the canal.
But
kena trap.
how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this
Dia
is where
nyandung
your
kotak
new
kayu
comes
itu,
merge,
dia
Mr.
akhirnya
Harlow.
nyemplung
What do you mean?
nancep.
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll
Okay.
make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clerk can make
Okay.
any difference in this place?
Nah, akhirnya baru kita bisa ini guys. Nanya ini.
Just one
Ya.
ill-fitting cog could
Kalau
make the
kalian
whole
nggak
machine
lapor
crumble.
dulu, nggak akan ada ini kayak gini nih, Pak.
Do you know anything about this?
They often take us from the camps to work. Most don't mind though. It's the only way we get a glimpse of freedom.
Oh, oke. Menurut para refugees ya, some city people regularly visit the camp. Jadi ada beberapa orang tuh yang mampir ke sini dan mengambil para refugees itu ya untuk perform various work, untuk kerja ya. The work is kerjanya tuh sangat keras guys. Dari situ money ya para refugees itu dapat duit dan juga makanan ya. Dan si cewek yang tadi yang kita visualkan ya, kejadiannya itu menolak guys ya. Akhirnya mau dipaksa ya, tapi dia tidak mau, terus gagal.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly
Okay.
his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Alright, sekarang kita cari si ibunya ini. Halo,
You're
Pak.
the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly.
Ini yang
The police didn't
bantu
allow
ceweknya
us
dulu
to
guys ya,
help
yang tadi ya.
The police
Pas
will leave you alone.
gelangnya copot terus ada
I've
orang
proven
ini
to
kan.
them that the man who came
Pas
into
kita
the camp
membayangkan
died due
itu.
to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here
Sama-sama.
because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again.
Iya Pak, saya
What do
tahu
you
Pak.
want from Nayla?
Oh namanya
Nela.
Nela.
She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla
di
if she wants
benua
it.
ini katanya.
But I will be watching you.
Oke siap. Kita kan dipantau guys ya sama
Hello,
dia.
Nayla.
Halo Nela. Suara anak kecil.
My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people?
Tuh.
Christ, Sherlock. Naylor, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
Oh,
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
okay.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Naylor doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still
Cross.
catch him.
Okay. Ini dia. This man didn't come here by chance. He is very important threat in this case. And this tattoo might help me to pull it. Tattoo lagi ya. Kayak tadi kayak tattoo 2 itu begini. Oh, kita punya dapat banyak guys. Wow. The dog also for Gallery. The dead man from the account was the same person who had broken into. Yuk. Mati dong pelakunya yang ngobrak-ngabrik galerinya si ini. Ya orang yang tadi nyembuh tadi guys, jadi korban karena olahnya sendiri. Hati ya, makanya jangan bawa benda-benda berbahaya gitu loh. One kidnap the girls, they give me what opportunity to kill her, but the wasn't his goal. Okay. The headsman normally a thief. He's not a thief, but also a kidnapper, and each man would take a first role. Waduh, gak hanya penculik, dia penculik juga guys. Double nih. Oke, ada lagi. There is a high rank official, the badge. So in this order to ranking official, the hero from the photograph might be the one. Oke. Ini dia ya. Mungkin ini nih pelakunya nih, salah satunya nih. Oh, dia pakai ini, berarti dia officer guys. Dia rankingnya tinggi nih. British High Rank Official. Oke, dia seorang orang berkulit putih guys. Oke, kita cari guys ya. Let alone work in this line. Oke. Kita coba tanya ke officer ya, dan harus siapa tahu dia kenal gitu kan. Karena polisi pak ya.
You still here?
Ya dong pak. Saya nanya nih pak. Nih soal ini orang nih.
Don't bother someone else with this, son.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck,
Ada
2
tato ya, guys, ya?
lines and a point. Do you
2
know
garis
anything about
tatonya.
it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as
Just
it
a
should be in
tattoo?
yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in
Ada lagi
Scalario.
nih.
His company imports goods and wines
Pindah ke
and smuggles
Bernadotti,
everything
guys.
that can be smuggled between the colonies and the
His
mainland.
company import
His
goods and
people can
wine.
be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one
Oke,
over
dia
there
seorang
our friend
pebisnis
has.
guys ya.
But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Oke. Oh, udah semua.
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
Oke, di sini udah selesai. So, muncul baru. Bernadotti is businessman from Scalario, promoted to run smuggling chain covered by import goods and one colony and the mainland. Niccolo Bernadotti. Oke, apakah kita harus menuju ke ini mungkin ya, ke arsip ya? Kita mencari. Oke, gua akan coba guys. Kita akan ketemu langsung setelah gua mendapatkan hasilnya, oke? Let's go. Nah guys, kita udah sampai di tempat ini arsip ya, ini City Hall. Oke, kita ke subject official British ya, kita cari British. Ininya itu passion kah? Oh, dapat guys. Thomas Norton, ya, born 1840 in London, graduated from University of Oxford. Lulusan Oxford ya tuh. Tapi tahun 1964 guys ya. Dia working at the Home Office as secretary. Dia kerja sebagai sekretari di tahun 1999. Kemudian dia jadi military commissaries di India. Ini sih jejak rekam intinya keren-keren ya. Dia udah in the badge. When I say British Dana is our cabinet in the whole town. Oke, kita dapat guys ya. Thomas Norton ya namanya. Ini adalah Thomas Norton. Kita dapat ini clue-nya. Dia ada di sini berarti. As the British envoy. Oke, kita akan coba tanya orang-orang di sini guys ya. Langsung aja ketemu hasilnya guys ya. Let's go. Oke, jadi menurut ini, jadi dia kerja di sini kan ya. Dia ada di apa tadi? Dia di mana nih? Dia di ini ya, British envoy in Cordona, in this cabinet city hall. Berarti di sini. Thomas Norton. Ini dia guys. Ayo dah. Tak cek-cek cilu pak ya. Gak ada yang bisa dicek-cek, nggak bisa. Langsung aja ke orangnya berarti. Duh. Wah.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow.
Ngapain? Nggak beda, bapak ini tersangka. Kita observasi dulu ya. Kita dimarahin diem-diem baik pak ya. Kita observasi dulu ya. Kurang tidur nih ya tadi malam ya. Teh merah matanya. Oh ini nggak dicukur ya, nggak ada waktu untuk cukur ya. Kayaknya lagi, ini dia. Itu dia guys, sesuai dengan. Bercak apa ini? Wine? Really? Itu wine? Kita lihat sepatunya, mungkin tidak. What else? Pundaknya. Stay at work last night. Ada bercak guys. Katanya itu wine. Really? Oke, kita pilih guys. The order bells look like corner roll. This morning after taking it off. The drink one is close to publicly. Jadi ini lusuh banget kan, gak pulang guys ya ini semalaman ya. With the night more than Coba ini. Around one standard reason is always dedicated leisure to towards institute. Oh yes. Jadi dia malas guys jadi kerjanya. The man is broad and okay. Person red eyes mean that he didn't return home last night. Ini. Instead what this man would rather lose himself with poverty and alcohol. Kan itu ya sampai kayak gini ya dia malas banget deh ini. Ya, jarang pulang kok ya.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
On my way here, I was wondering whether you might regret
mengarah ke
what you
Anda
did.
gitu.
I tried my best to retain at least a shred of faith in humanity. I had hoped that you would hear her scream, see her face in your dreams, or at least once asked yourself how Nayla might feel.
Who?
Neither of my hopes were fulfilled.
Why are you here?
Show the photograph. Send you to justice. Tak pukul aja mukanya kan ngeselin guys. Kita bisa pukul mukanya dong. Coba ya kita pukul mukanya guys.
You defiled a girl who was with child. Don't even pretend that you regret what took place. Do you wonder why I came here? It is because I am disgusted with people like you, and the only way in my mind to rid the world of your ilk is to see you hanging from the gallows.
All right. Is it about money, as you said in the letter? I have it, all right? There's no need for violence.
I've never written a single word to you. As you can see, I have a more direct approach.
That letter, it wasn't from you. So what do you want?
Answers, to start with.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where am I?
Respect.
My name is Thomas Norton. a British envoy in Cordon on a military mission.
Masih bisa santai.
Where do we
Masih gaya
start?
gini-gini, Pak. Ah. Okay. Did you know?
Boniface Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio.
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too
Blackmailer?
afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
Okay. Who is
You mentioned
blackmailing you?
blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course.
Ada
What else do
blackmailing,
such
guys,
people
ya.
want?
Dia ngirim surat ke orang
Needless
ini
to
yang
say,
mengetahukan
I don't
bahwa
remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more.
masih dia guys ya. Dia yang menyuri karena dari surat yang dia dapat dari blackmailing tadi tuh menyebutkan kalau ada foto yang ada di galerinya Vogel tuh di dalamnya ada sebuah fotograf yang mengarah ke dia itu yang bisa menyebabkan apa ibaratnya menjatuhkan posisinya dia ya berkaitan dengan dirinya itu ya. Jadi bahaya untuk posisinya dia itu. Ya.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position. Yet, here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. And I'm no exception.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them.
Katanya dia sama
What
kita
can you
guys.
say?
Oh, kita
I
muter-muter
got
cari.
myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in
Dia
my drink.
minum bareng sama kita
After
juga.
that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the Crown.
Okay.
I made a mistake. But I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction.
Ya, katanya dia bukan
By putting
pelakunya
me
lah ya.
behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
Oke. Mana nih? Sama-sama bagus guys ya. Kita nolong refugees atau enggak nolong Helpnella itu sama-sama bagus sih. Oke, gua akan pilih Helpnella.
Nayla deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
That's not all.
Kali ini
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right. I can do
diminta
that.
untuk menolong refugees memberikan mereka
Sir.
kerjaan guys ya.
Will you give me the photograph now?
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism.
Oke, muncul baru lagi. And void testimony, he claimed himself guilty. What purpose of deal? If I bring him photograph, he will help the refugees. Oke, tadi muncul satu yang baru, guys. Oh, jauh sekali. Envoy warned the hand proof tuh. Envoy pengen menghilangkan petunjuknya, guys ya. Dari fotografi itu kan dia mencuri ya. Kayaknya sih gitu kayaknya. But I don't know. Oke, muncul lagi. System software. All witches are victim of the system. And the they are as much can be. Oke, kita dapat petunjuk, guys. Oke, merciless justice. Therefore, the kekerasan not given on the dead, humiliation from the accordant unless give the fraud to Vogel so he can make everything public. Oke, ini kita tidak membiarkan ini untuk mendapatkan foto, guys ya. Tapi kalau kita kasihkan ke dia, dia akan sebagai kita akan memberikan keuntungan ya, yaitu menyelamatkan si refugees ini, yang memberikan legalisasi untuk mereka karena si refugees ini korban sistem, guys. Nah, yang mana nih? Oke, dulu guys, gua nggak akan ambil keputusan dulu ya.
I take your point.
Kita coba cari lagi hal lain ya yang bisa kita temukan itu. Oke, let's go. Mungkin ke polisi, kita cari arsip dulu lagi. Let's go. Nah, kita udah sampai sini, langsung aja kita cari, guys ya, modalis crime. Kita ke not background smuggling, berkata sama duit nih ya. Lalu distriknya mungkin skala Dio, criminal pattern. Oh, dapat Niccolo Benadotti, lahir 1934. Ya, ini dia yang kita cari ya, Benadotti. Dia pemilik dan pendiri dan pemilik dari Berlanjut Company yang ada di South Eastern Scaladio, Bazar Edi, dekat dengan crossing with Rome, ya, dengan persilangan perempatan dari Roman Erdi, guys ya. Alright, kita dapat
An impressive slice of life. The police had a lot on him, and at the same time, nothing at all. Amateurs.
Sabarlah, kita cari. Oke, sepertinya kita sudah dapat ya. Ini dia, Bernadotti. Oke, kita tahan dulu itu mungkin ya. Let's go, kita coba cari posisinya, guys. Nah, guys, akhirnya ketemu juga dengan lokasinya di sini, guys ya. Nih, Bazar Erdi, ya kan, bersama dengan kasino ini. Nah, di sini, guys ya. Langsung aja kita dari sini, guys. Dekat nih dari sini nih. Let's go. Oke, kita kesini. Wah, sumpah meluas sekali ini misi ya. Dan gue kira pembunuhan, ternyata bunuh ya karena kena pisaunya sendiri. Kocak karena dia ternyata penculik ya. Oke, ini ada hubungannya dengan Bernadotti ini. Mana tuh lokasinya? Oke, masih di depan. Kantin. Oh, ada kantin, Pak. Oke, apakah ini? Oh, ada jalan masuknya sebelah sini ya. Ini. Oke. Oh, auto save. Oh, kayaknya ini refugees, guys, itu ya.
These workers don't look like your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp.
Oh, banyak sekali yang bisa di ini ya.
Shipped from Cape Town. The wine route from colony to colonies.
Oh,
Porcelain friend for every child.
oke. Oh,
This earthenware came a long way from the Staffordshire potteries.
oke. Orang. Banyak kan orang ya. Tanya orang kah?
Help me, please.
The less you know, the safer you are. You better get back to work.
Kasih bantu sama sekali si bapak nih, kurang aja sembah. Ini ya, company ini ya. Oke. Ya udah itu aja ya. Selanjutnya adalah orang ini.
An essential remedy against sea scourge on any ship. Bernadotte doesn't miss an opportunity to occupy every niche in the market.
Oke, lainnya adalah orang ya. Ngapain?
That's our way in, Sherry.
Apa? Masuk. Oke, kita coba masuk.
Hey yo, this is private property. You lost something.
Want to see Mr. Bernadotte? Langsung beli ini kayak gak percaya dia ya guys ya. Coba kita ini private investigator.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm investigating a robbery, and Mr. Bernadotte may be just the man to help me with.
You're a copper.
I have nothing to do with the police.
Mr. Bernadotte isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away, or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernadotte's best interest to...
1.
Okay. One of your people is dead. Hit him. Waduh, main bantem-bantem aja nih kita nih. Nggak juga ding. Ini markas musuh boy. Oke. One of your people is dead. Mungkin dia nggak percaya guys. Mau kita jotos kah? Ini kuning ya. Kuning biasanya itu pilihannya guys. Warnanya kuning guys. Loh.
I did try to resolve this peacefully.
Wah, battle ini lagi nih. Tembak-tembakan guys. Oke. Oke. 1. Oke. One down 1.
Too simple.
Oke, yang mana ada yang nembak gua? Oh, dari situ. Aduh. Di mana lagi? Seperti ada banyak orang. Oh, ada lebih. Ush. Topinya. Susah banget. Go. Oi. Dek. Oke, mantap. Tampol muka kau. Woi. Oke, sabar. Nice. Aduh, muncul lagi dong. Ini musuh ternyata. Aduh. Musuh ternyata tuh. Ngumpul. Wis. Ngumpul loh. Topi lo dicopot. Ayo, weh. No party-partian.
No more. Give him the pepper snuff.
Oke. Tangkep boy. Atas.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Peluru. Oh, ini ada jebakan. Tuh. Ini ada orang lagi deh. Oh, jebakan. Wih. Dia ngisi. Wih. Dia ngisi. Lu. Nggak tahu nih, kita udah jago.
No more crime for you until next month.
Mana lagi? Itu dari mana? Udah di situ. Wow. Tolong. Oish. Ya, kebalik, Om. Ini aja. Udah, nggak kena, Pak. Sini. Sini loh. Oke. Nggak kena dong, jebakannya nggak kena, Pak. Ih. Aduh. Ini loh. Wih. Gua habis. Ini.
Your tricks are useless.
Apa sih? Nggak kena tuh semuanya tuh, Pak. Oke, kalau gitu gua akan nembak dia.
I am invincible.
Oh iya, gara-gara ini ya. Oh. Peluru. Tinggal topengnya doang, gue lupa dia pakai mata ini nih.
Time to knock this guy out.
Ya masalah jebakan ada lagi nggak? Oh ini ada nih. Mana dia? Dia dari situ. Oh kena. Loh dari tadi.
Don't give him the pepper snuff.
Ada lah gitu. Dari mana tuh? Mana bokap itu?
The snuff's ready.
Not that easy.
Ada kena. Aduh, ada kena tuh.
I couldn't miss the party.
Udah nggak tahu kenapa tuh tiba-tiba gitu sendiri.
My friend.
Ini gampang sih. Kita puterin aja. Oke, dia udah ini. Oke, dia berikan nembak dulu. Aduh kena. Oke. Ya reload. Oh kurang satu. Iya mati dong. Oh enggak. Oke. Alright. Mana sih itumu? Ini lo lepas. Waduh kena. Oke. Topengnya lepas gue.
Dodge this.
Iya dong gue dodge. Oke.
Thought we were against murder.
Mati. Ketembak mati. Ya udahlah. Oke. Udah selesai nih. Apa yang bisa kita ambilin? Udah ada ya. Oh kesana. Perang everyday. Oke. Bener ini atau situ? Oh enggak bener itu guys. Sama semua lo pintunya. Lalu kita coba-coba dulu guys ya.
Sherry, look.
Kagetku.
This seems familiar.
Oh.
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
Oke. Oh. Ini kan.
Let's see what's hidden there.
Ini lukisannya guys.
Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't
Oh,
it
ini asli.
curious how
Yang
it
tadi ya
developed
palsu
into
dong
a
yang di
much
sana.
more interesting case?
Oke. Wah, ada lagi guys. Orang mencurian semua kah?
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa.
Oke. Oh,
A Dogon statue from West Africa.
Dogon.
A century old at least.
Dua. Oh.
VH Grindley Flow Blue
Via Grindley
Tableware.
Flow Blue
This
Tableware.
is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
Oke. Kenapa nih orang?
No, sir. Don't hurt me.
It's all right. I won't harm you.
Like you didn't harm the folks on the way here?
Siapa tuh? Ada itu lagi, guys. Oke, kita tanya orang ini.
Don't come any closer. One step and I'll shred you to pieces.
Hah? Posisi lu takutan gitu. No one will find your body. Okay, no one will find your
Keep
body.
standing in my way and no one will ever see you again.
Righto. Yes. Yep. Well, excuse me, sir. I think I
Tahu
hear...
sering dia, guys ya.
I've got to...
Kita
It's better I
takut-takutin.
leave.
Whoa. Oh, wow. That was as if somebody put my words in your mouth.
Langsung kabur. Apa ada hal lain yang koran, guys. Cordona Chronicle front page Zeppelin. Oke. Logistik nggak bisa. Oke, berarti ke sini. Banyak sekali, guys ya. Ini bakal panjang nih. Tapi kita akan lanjutkan di episode selanjutnya, guys ya, karena durasi sudah terlalu panjang. Kita akan menuju ke orang yang takut itu, dan ini masih meluas loh masalah pencet. Tapi kita udah dapet ya. Ini titik terangnya di sini ya. Jadi si Bernadotte ini kemungkinan ya dialah yang menyuruh untuk mencuri lukisannya si Vogel. Jadi ada orang yang disuruh ya, dibayar untuk mencuri lukisan itu, dan orang yang mencuri itu ya yang mati tadi mungkin ya, yang ada di refugee camp ya. Semuanya mengarah ke sini. Kita udah menemukan barangnya ya tadi dalam sini ya. Tapi kita masih belum bisa menemukan bukti lainnya yang lebih kuat ya untuk menuduh si Bernadotte ini. Tapi banyak hal ya. Dan yang tadi yang si Norton tadi tuh kita udah bisa memilih guys ya, memberikan keputusan di mana kita kasih ke Vogel biar dipublikkan ya. Ntar efeknya apa kita ketahui, atau enggak kita kasihkan ke Nortonnya tadi ya, fotografinya soal dia ya. Dia akan membantu memberikan sebuah hal yang baik untuk si para refugees-nya. Berarti akan di sejahterakan lah ya, dikasih kerjaan dan semacamnya guys ya. Oke, tapi belum gua pilih. Kita lanjutkan ini di episode selanjutnya guys ya, karena semakin menarik ya. Kasus ini ternyata nggak simpel sekali. Ini berhubungan dengan Bernadotte Company. Jadi ini perusahaan guys, pasti ini bakal lebih sangat dalam lagi ya. Karena udah berhubungan dengan company ini pasti nggak sepele guys ya. Oke, seperti guys ya episode kali ini. Terima kasih udah nonton videonya. Terima kasih, semoga kalian suka dan terhibur. Dan sampai jumpa lagi di next video dari game Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 ini. And bye bye.